With Canada heading to the polls pretty soon, I just thought I'd voice my opinions on what I've heard from the candidates thus far. So here goes. A few days ago, Justin said she-session in place of recession. I mean, that has to be one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. That being said, recession doesn't even have he or man or men in it. It's not even masculine, as far as I can tell, unless I'm wrong. Not unlike manual or even hell, menopause. But that's just politics 101, pander, pander, pander. Gotta get every vote, even the woke vote. Next he was talking about conservative double talk, and he even said weasel talk. Funny thing about weasel talk, for me anyway, is every time I hear any politician speak, whether it's conservative, liberal, NDP, or the other three parties, I guess, all I hear is weasel talk. But anyway, moving on. A few days ago I heard on the radio that someone threw gravel at Justin Trudeau. From what I was able to gather, he was saying he wouldn't be intimidated by the mob or the anti-vaxxers. I can think of two things I don't understand about that statement. First, don't you need majority of votes to become prime minister? Isn't a majority another word for mob? Or I mean, a more polite word for mob? Second, how did he know they were anti-vaxxers? Were they screaming, "We don't want the jab" or something? But then again, he was probably just using it to bash people who don't want to get vaccinated. But just because someone throws gravel at you doesn't mean they're anti-vaxxers. I mean, maybe they just hate you. That being said, the person who threw the gravel, all I can say is shame on them. I would never do something like that. Again, two reasons. One, that's assault. That's a crime, and that'll be on your permanent record. In other words, they probably ruined their life. Second, and most importantly, violence is tied to hate. Hate is bad, believe it or not, even though it's an emotion, but anyway. I know some people might have thought that was funny or even agreed with it, but not me. As much as I don't like Trudeau, violence should be a very last resort, and for me personally, I just don't think he's worth it on account of the whole criminal record thing. Now on to conservatives. So far from what I've heard them talk about, things like standing up against corporate corruption in politics, and something about securing the future, which kinda sounds like a buzzword, to me anyway. Next, the NDP. I've heard them talk about how the Liberals aren't doing near as much for mental health and healthcare. Overall, from what I was hearing, they're just pandering and just dogpiling on the Liberals for power. So for me, all I've heard from any of the candidates is just a whole whack of weasel talk. So anyway, thanks for watching, and sorry about the stammering. I'm not used to making videos online.